I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. From 2023 to 2025, we're celebrating the Jubilee of St. Thomas Aquinas, whose feast is celebrated on January 28th. He lived from 1224 to 1274, a period in which Europe emerged from the so-called Dark Ages. Thomas was born in Rocaseca in Italy. He studied Aristotle, Averroes, and Maimonides, and at university he met Juan de San Julian, a Dominican preacher, who influenced him to join the newly founded order of Saint Dominic of Guzman. He was disciple of Saint Albert the Great. Far from being a cloistered monk, he was very aware of the political and social situation of his time and of all the changes taking place around him. In the convent, he was allowed the opportunity to develop his philosophical ideas, which are surprising for their brilliance, breadth of thought, and enormous production. St. Thomas was a theologian. All his writings were directed toward that end, and his works on other matters were subordinated to it. His theory of natural law, which forms a relatively small part of his monumental treatise called the Summa Theologica, had an immense impact on legal philosophy. St. Thomas defines the law as an ordinance of reason for the common good made by him who cares for the community and promulgates it. For St. Thomas, there is no direct link between law and theology. His conception of natural law is very relevant in light of contemporary realities, because he said that natural law is the law that dominates each being, a law that is immutable, eternal, and that all human beings express and experience in different ways. For St. Thomas Aquinas, man is capable of delving deeper with his intelligence into the principles that allow him to achieve his goal, because man has a certain order that consists of necessary inclinations of human action in accordance with his nature, and that they path to your specific perfection, and that order is the law. That objective law that consists of moral norms allows the intellect to know the goodness of malice of an object desired by the will, and to be able to act accordingly as an exercise of its human freedom. The person is called to order each and every one of his acts to the end that constitutes its perfection and that is established in his nature. For his part, St. Thomas says that irrational beings necessarily tend to their ends without there being a moral law order in them. To order his human actions and achieve his goal, God has established the natural law or order that must be followed. However, the relativism that prevails today encourages to highlight the metaphysical basis that support this order or law, and which is masterfully elaborated by St. Thomas Aquinas. His fame as a wise man spread throughout Europe from the Sorbonne University in Paris, where he studied and gave classes, and then the classes he gave in Cologne, Germany, in Rome, and Naples, in Italy. He alternated teaching with preaching. He spent hours praying, composed the liturgy feast of Corpus Christi because of his great devotion to the Eucharist. He had immense filial love for the Virgin Mary. This doctor of the Church continues to influence the 21st century despite having lived less than 50 years, because he always sought the truth in God, and with God we always win.